it's time. There we go. It's time. How's everybody doing? I have this pedal here, this like old 1911 MIDI Yamaha sustain pedal. Well, it's not MIDI, but yeah, it's just sustain. However, if you ever worked with sustain pedals before, if you have a degree in sustain pedals, you'll know that sustain pedals often have a polarity, a negative and positive. Not all of them, and I don't know if this one does. And I have to open it to find out, because otherwise if I press this, well here, if I hold this down, then let go, you'll have that tone playing until I do this. Right? Crazy. Hey Mom, how are you? I love it so much that I love this side streaming channel so much because, for those of you who don't know the story, the main channel streams are getting a little stressful. Anytime I covered software like this, the developer would show up, and a couple different like music mag type, and not music mag, the music mag, but a couple different like music blogs ran little stories about something I said or did on a stream. Not even bad things, I didn't like draw a nude pic of Muhammad, for the world to see or anything like that. But I did, yeah. And so I was like, well, let's start a streaming channel. And here we are. And now it's just like my mom and some close folks in the Discord and stuff like that. So it's nice. While I'm looking for a tool, I sound like I'm sick. I'm not at all. I just don't know how to drink coffee. While I look for a tool to fix this sustain pedal, otherwise my playing is going to be severely hampered. I can't play without a sustain. I mean, I can, but maybe this little ring. I don't even know what this is for. Maybe that'll do it. I should have a camera crew, and everybody could just zoom in, and everybody could see what I'm doing, and it would just be so fascinating to see me unscrew this stupid sustain pedal. Yeah, noisy is absolutely, well, so the first noisy is like really crazy. The second noisy, it doesn't feel like noisy anymore to me. Like just from like looking at the interface, it feels like an entirely new plugin, and it feels like it's way more badass. So I'm really excited to finally, oh, here it is. This is what I've been looking for. These tweezers. Bet that'll get in that screw hole. And so I'm excited to finally check it out. I had some sort of dumb issue with the registration last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever the hell that was. Yeah, last week we did the Polyon tracker. Also, new studio. That's been fun. Well, it's not a studio yet. It's literally a barn. It's less than a barn. Things have been torn out. There's no windows. There's no doors. At least the last time I saw it, which was this morning, while HVAC is getting put in. And then I've been kind of with an electrician, kind of been co-designing all of the electric circuits. There's going to be 3 different isolated circuits in the room. One for lighting, one for lighting, 2 for audio, and then just a standard circuit for like plugging in your phone or your laptop or, something that you don't intend to put into music. On what other news do I have about the studio? And the only reason I'm giving this is because a lot of people keep asking me to give news about the studio. I just don't, not just like talking to hear myself talk. I swear people care about this. If you don't, let me know in the chat and I'll shut up. Monitors. This is something that I've avoided for a very long time. One of the reasons I've avoided it is because I'm overloaded, and I am still not used to my IK iLouds at all. I'm nowhere close to being used to them. This does not have a polarity switch. Damn it. Here's what the inside of a sustain pedal looks like. I was hoping there'd be like some sort of easy polarity switch in here. Oh, I guess it does have a polarity switch if you just disconnect. If you just rewire it from the ground up, it'll have a polarity switch. Yeah. Ugh. I wish I had my cold solder gun right in front of me. I would do it real quick. That would be so badass. When I was on tour with Dillinger Escape Plan, one of the opening bands for one of the shows, they had a synthesizer. It was like, it wasn't anything that cool, you know. It was like a Alesis something or other, not an Andromeda or anything. And what was happening? Oh, it wouldn't sync with anything, and they were like freaking out. This was like their big chance to, you know, open for Dillinger Escape Plan, and it was this awesome. And I had a cold solder gun, which is, they're pretty crazy. I haven't seen one in a long time, but they're basically, they just, you know, heat up through electricity rather than, you know, a hot iron. There's something you wouldn't want to use for like a big project, but for a quick, and I totally opened it up and noticed that there was, the MIDI jack had kind of broken a little bit off on the board, and started up really fast and looked like an absolute genius for doing the simplest thing in the world. Where was I saying? Yes. Okay. Studio. So super clean electricity. Then it's going, the main audio circuit's going to go through an isolation box that probably, it's like this big, and it's just a giant coil, and it weighs like 100 pounds. It's like, it's so hard to lift. Yeah, designing the HVAC, like designing HVAC for a studio rather than building a studio in a place with HVAC. So it's like, the studio room's going to have a mini split, but then all the other rooms are going to have an HVAC system, but the HVAC system is installed, like encased in something called Rockwool, which is Rockwool Safe and Sound, which will just prevent it from vibrating the frame of the building for the furnace and the air conditioner compressor outside. It's going to be pretty intense. What else? Is there any other news? I mean, there's so much news about it. I have a gardener that sort of, I mean, I have to pay him, but sort of came with the house. His name is Jesus. He lives 2 doors down, and he is a professional gardener. And my God, is he obsessed with gardening. He's an app, like when you see the video of this place, your brain's going to pop. This guy is like, you know, if you asked me a few days ago, if you're like, Ben, would you ever have a gardener? I'd be like, no, like I garden for myself. I wouldn't want something. This guy is so passionate about it. It's so lovely. Yeah. And his work on that particular property is just bonkers. And he was so sad that the previous owner was moving because he thought that he wouldn't be, because he built the chicken coop. He planted eucalyptus trees in Georgia. They survive in Georgia, right? So much stuff. And so I was just like, okay, we got to work something out where I can afford you. And, because this property needs to stay this, as the kids on the street say, dope. Here, I found another pedal that I'm going to use. I wish I just did that to begin with. I saw a question there about the Polybrute 12. You know I don't like doing gear videos anymore. You know, right? You know I don't like doing that. But the answer to that question, sorry, okay, this one has a polarity switch. Will this stupid problem finally be solved? We did it. Great. The answer to the Polybrute 12 question, I don't want to do a review. And I've known about the Polybrute 12 for years. It's been in design pretty early on. And I've known about it for a while. I've played with one. I played with one in 2022. I think when they first had the first prototype and they added to it, I think it had like bigger cartridges for the extra voices. Pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm into it. I love it. The polyphonic aftertouch is just absolutely gorgeous. I told them, look, I'll do a video of me performing in, like, if you ship one over, I'll do a video with that and the Astrolab. I think those two complement each other a lot. And I will actually challenge myself to make a set, to make like a 30-minute live set, improvised, like jazz piano and synth. And I will perform it somewhere outdoors or like a very cool place. Initially, I was like, well, this new house I have, it's this empty cabin in the woods, but I don't think I'll have it. So maybe I'll bring it down by my parents' house. They live in a pretty crazy place. So yeah, and they're crazy about the idea. And that's what I love about Arturia, is they're like, yeah, we know you don't like reviewing things. You could do whatever you want. So maybe I will. Okay. If you notice, I'm not using FL Studio. I'm using Bitwig. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, are you using Bitwig now? Is Bitwig your DAW? No, I like Bitwig a lot. I think it's great. I think the grid is amazing. And for this purpose, its utilization of MPE is very straightforward, very easy to hook up. I still had to install custom script, but I did it in under a minute. It was very easy. It's on ExpressiveE's website on how to hook up an Osmos to a VST. There were a couple steps, though. It's not super user-friendly, but it is way more user-friendly than any other any other DAW that I'm aware of at the moment in terms of getting like an Osmos to work with a plugin flawlessly where you can, you know, move a key around. That being said, yeah, since I don't do gear reviews anymore and stuff like that, I don't really have the same sort of rules. And if a plugin or if a project or anything, you know, I may do another Bitwig stream just on Bitwig, just to check out what's new with the grid. I'm not holding that grudge anymore. Plus, I do know people from the company, and, you know, I like it more than Ableton. I'll say that much. So, hooray. Yeah, data broth. Yeah, I can, yeah. At first I was like, oh no, but then I figured it out through a quick Google search. So yeah, but the reason I even brought up Bitwig to begin with, is because there, you know, you might get frustrated with me trying to figure out how to do something that my muscle memory has forgotten. But no, I'm still an FL Studio person, not by, you know, I'm not being not by endorsement, but by use. It's just what I always used. And that's what I'm used to. So this is a pretty insane plugin. So we have our expression control, which now we have noise. Okay. So just so you know what's happening, we can play a chord, just for anybody who's not super familiar with the Osmos. Actually, can I change this? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of figuring out going on here. This is a bonkers plugin. Is there a different resonator? We'll figure this out. I'll do a preset first. Okay. So, if I play a C major here, and then I play a G up on top, and if I want to bend that G key or make it louder, so first of all, we have polyphonic aftertouch, so it's like, and then we can also bend one at a time. So that's what the Osmos is all about, and that and like a million other things. Yeah, Bitwig is colorful. honestly, I like Bitwig so much more than Ableton, in my opinion. God, that's so sensitive. Yeah, that's... We're gonna have to figure out what's going on at some point. This time I'm gonna play with the presets first. Wow. Yeah, Gardner's. I was just a few days ago. I had Gardner out to my new place. He was mostly building these custom hung acoustic shields. I see what's happening. Okay, I get an idea of this finally. Sometimes the expression pedal doesn't do anything on these patches. Or very little. Can I switch presets here? No. Okay. I'm confused what the LFO does, or maybe I'm just wondering how you would hook it up to something. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does sound like a college radio thing. So what if we switch this to square? It's changing something. Oh, an LFO range control. Oh, I didn't even see this. Whoa. This is nuts. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, wow. Wow, so you could edit the rise and falls. I like that. Okay, and then I can edit the rate. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, this is nuts. And then there's multiple layers, of course. And then effects. Wow, a lot of effects. Whoa. That's beautiful. It generates its own sound. I'm gonna try and move the bending to be a little more intense. So. Okay. Oof. That's not easy. almost there. I don't even... I kind of wish that you could... Just made me realize that'd be fun if you could only make sure, for people who suck like me, if you could only make sure that the individual key bends are within scale. Which I believe can be done. It would probably take like a year of development. But like, so for example, if I played a G minor, and then if I wanted to bend this down to a, like if I just wanted to bend this A sharp down to an A, it wouldn't go there. It would just go, it would quantize right into that. But I can turn sensitivity all the way off, which is, like if you turn stabilization all the way down on one of these, well, check this out, it's so ridiculous. I'm going to try and play a chord. And then if you turn the bending all the way up, I'm not even moving anything. That sounds really nice too. One thing about this software and this controller is that I have no self-awareness. I have no idea if what I'm making is beautiful or absolutely nauseating and terrible. This is probably I'm going to impersonate you. This is probably a dumb question, but what's the main reason to get this and not just the Osmos? Because a lot of this sounds like something you could accomplish with just Osmos presets. Next comment I read is going to be Steven Seagal, so it's going to be even worse. Well, I mean, this is $50 on sale. $50 well spent. I think it's $50 in my. I would say this plugin's worth $200 probably, just because not only do you have all this going on, but you have this going on too. Got 2 layers of this going through some pretty decent effects. Not bad. Now, I would imagine that most people who bought an Osmos when the Osmos came out are getting a little bit bored of the sounds, which is understandable, unless they're using the Hacken editor, or the. I mean, if you're using the Hacken editor, then yes, this is probably up to your speed of sound. This is basically just a way, simpler way to accomplish some of the things you could accomplish with the Hacken editor. Now, I have some friends, close friends, even some YouTuber friends who are, leaders of this SynthTube community who got it told, like, dude, you gotta play with the Hacken, you gotta play with the Egan Matrix and the Hacken editor. It's fucking crazy. It is next level stuff. And they were like, they heard me raving on about it, and then they're like, dude, this is way too much. I just don't have time to learn this. Fair enough. It's absolutely crazier. It's way great. Like, the presets on the Osmos are a little underwhelming in the power that you could have changing them. And the reason for that is because it's physical modeling, right? It's not subtractive synthesis. It's not cut off in envelopes. It's way more than that. It's kind of what you see here. And the Hacken editor is like next level stuff. So yeah, that would be my answer to that question. Nick Kruger Music, aka Steven Seagal, asks, I don't want to do this now. In your opinion, what's the best tool you could start messing with to make your own physical model and reverb delay algorithms? I would say he does, but just so you know, this is modern Steven Seagal, where he kind of just talks like this all the time. He talks like a bad impersonation of like an older African-American gentleman, even though that he's a white guy living in Russia because he's evading rape charges, but he says that he's Asian. Anyway, the fat seagull. Yeah, that's a good. So the best tool to start messing and making your own physical modeling and reverb delay algorithms. Damn. If you have an Osmos, or if you have any Hacken compatible or Egan Matrix compatible hardware, the Egan 100% that, because any making your own physical modeling algorithm type of thing is difficult. I would say maybe the simplest route outside of that, if you just want to use your computer, feel free to correct me, anybody in the chat. I want to say pure data. I want to say PD, but learning how to use bangs and shit is actually kind of not like hair, but learning how to use bangs and that whole sort of, I feel like that's just a little bit too abstract, and you can never get a pretty interface. Reactor, on the other hand, you're not going to get a pretty interface, but it's not always going to be quite as ugly as like Max and PD generally is. So I would go with Reactor. I would buy it on sale, or no, you know what I would do? I'm going to get hated for saying this. They're not updating Reactor anymore, to my knowledge. I think it's a legacy product now, so I would pirate it. I would not, if you're not using Native Instruments, I would not install the Native Instruments copy protection program to run on your computer all the time just to run something that's not going to be updated anymore. I would pirate it, and then I would buy a license from Native Instruments and then pirate it. Actually, that is 100% what I would do. my version, all my Native Instruments stuff on my computer here is, I own all of it, but it's all pirated. Like I run the pirated versions because I'm not going to have background shit running constantly. And most Native Instruments stuff I run now, I don't use it that much anymore. Reactor is the only one I really touch. The only time I use it is if somebody from an ad agency calls me or something, or one of my old composing houses I used to work with, and they say, hey, remember when you made this track for this client? We want to reuse it for this, but we want to change the tempo by 5 BPM so it fits the picture. Then I have to load up Contact 4, Contact 5 or something. So, yeah, I am not going to auto-update that and then end up, losing a potential license or something over it. So, yeah. Yes, Adam, that thing is so much fun. The developer reached out to me, I think, but I'm a pinhead and I didn't respond. Too many options and not enough time. Max MSP. Now I'm a visual coding, apparently. Who doesn't understand? Max, I would say, I'm not a huge fan of Max, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of Max because I feel like Pure Data does everything that Max can do. It just doesn't have as many libraries. But it can accomplish everything that Max can accomplish more efficiently. I can make a Pure Data patch, like a simple generative synth, and then run it on, I have 2 different modules that can run PD. The only Max's response to that, or Max's competition to that, is Max Gen, which is not nearly as powerful as Max or PD. So, yeah, take that. And now, that being said, I think I'm going to release it on Sunday because I have a really busy day Monday. Sunday morning, I am going to release a video that required me to have, 25 years of making electronic music among other musicians and hearing rumors, and it also required me to have a long conversation with Aphex Twin about what software Aphex Twin used to make his iconic 90s music. And some of that software is still made, and some of it's free. And I guarantee that at least one of those things you've never heard of. And it's amazing. So I'm really, really excited about that. I've been working on that video forever. And to give you a little spoiler alert, I was really proud of myself because when I did catch up with Richard, I was expecting him to unload these nukes where I'd just be so wrong about everything I heard. I had a conversation with him ages ago in London about some of that stuff that neither of us even really remember. I just remember some of the things. And I was expecting to have to redo my whole video, but amazingly, I didn't. I just had to, edit some things, change some things up. I don't release videos on your Sunday morning, wherever you are. Anyway. Yes, Highs is cool, Data Broth. I appreciate that exists. God, what else? I'm trying to think. Physical modeling. It's such a tall order. And dear God, if you're doing any physical modeling stuff, I would even say if you're using this, any physical modeling stuff, always have a limiter on the end of your chain. Yes, Metasynth is among it, is among the Aphex Twin softwares. All right. Oh yeah, that would be what's the tracker name? PP something, like Player Pro. But there's more to it. He didn't just use the stock version of Player Pro. Oh my God, that's right. Songs by Blair. Alpha Forever. Oh, wow. I forgot all about that. Is that still being updated? Let me look that up really fast. Ugh, maybe I could learn how to type while I'm doing that. Yeah, my good. Okay, good. There's a devlog. No, it's kind of not. The last update was December 9th, 2022. Man, yeah, Alpha Forever is beautiful sounding. I'm just loading the, here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. It looks like that. What do they want for it? 80 bucks? I'd pay 80 bucks for Alpha Forever. Yeah. Okay, I know it was more when it first came out. Yeah, I literally, they sort of courted me via email for a long time before they released this with the alpha versions of Alpha Forever, and I was like, and I mean, it was, they didn't have like 10% of the amount of modules that they have that it comes with, and I remember thinking to myself, you know, I'm just like, oh God, another one of these. Because like VCV came out, Cherry Audio came out with their thing, and Reactor was doing their blocks, and I was just like, we don't need another virtual modular thing. And I remember just finally installing it and just listening to the saw and a filter, just a real quick like patch, and I was just like, what? This sounds like my modular. Like this legit sounds like unstable and hot, like a real analog oscillator. Like it, and then yeah, from there, I did a video on it very long. I probably couldn't even find it. I'd have to dig deep, but yeah, yeah, alpha temporary. Yes, I'm using Bitwig. I've switched to Bitwig. I've told FL Studio that I'm done. No, I'm joking. No, Bitwig has amazing MPE support. And I do always want to check out what's going on with the grid. Is it still being updated? It just said, oh, maybe then just they haven't updated the devlog. If it's still being updated, I 100% would. Then 80 bucks is a steal. Would I recommend the Expressive E? You mean the Osmos? Yeah, 100% I would. Easy. Osmos for what it is. I mean, yeah, it's... But I have friends, I know people who have complained about it. Yeah, I've seen people complain about it. I don't agree with them, but that's just me. A lot of people have complained that, like, oh, the presets, they're not customizable enough. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I agree. But it's also physical modeling. You can't have customizable physical modeling on a keyboard like this. You can a little bit in an interface like this. As once we dive in and start making presets, we'll see how powerful that can be. But yeah, but the Osmos is more customizable than almost any synthesizer in my entire studio, and that's because it does work with the Egan Matrix or Hacken Editor. But then you have to run the Hacken Editor, which is the whole thing. However, you can make it, when you are using the Hacken Editor in Max MSP, and you don't need to buy Max MSP to use it. You can use it without buying it. You are editing presets that are coming out of the sound engine on the Osmos. So it's all Osmos based. So that means you can save it, and then if you want to like play a set with it or use it later, you can just have all of your hacking presets on the Osmos, which is really awesome. You can also go to places like Patch Storage and download a bunch of hacking presets. And I don't know what the newer what the newer presets sound like on this. I haven't really checked them out, but once I used the Hacken Editor and made my own presets, I was kind of like, they could have spent a little more money on the preset making. They could have hired a few more people to do it. Because I did think to myself, like, I feel like I made some really good presets in comparison to some of the ones that were on there. Some of them are great that come with the Osmos, but I remember some being kind of underwhelming, which may be the reason why people who just like play with it at NAMM for a set, well, I guess people who play with it at NAMM are amazed, but yeah, people who have it for a week are like, oh, I wish there was more presets. It's also an instrument. Like just because you can play the keyboard doesn't mean you're going to be able to play the Osmos. I think one thing that I've been able to adjust to it easily with, well, not like I'm a good player or anything, but it's because I play the guitar and the piano, so I can at least, and I play the guitar lefty, so this hand is used to vibrato, so I can go like, I still don't really know what polyglide is. Are we in plucked synths or plucked strings? Okay, good. learning a lot here. All right, I want to edit. I like really no damping at all. I still don't entirely know what's happening. In all humility. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of a nice feeling to not feel like I know exactly what I want to come out of this and I will now do it. Like, it's kind of nice to have these surprises. But it is 7:30, which means the stream's half over, which means we can make a new preset. Okay, so right now, resonator 1 is the only resonator being triggered. We got white noise as our... Okay, so particles. These are what these sound like. Machine's nice. Can we slow it down though? No. Okay. Oh, we have a matrix. I am so fucking stupid. God. Hey, Jordan. Okay, so we have a mono mode, soft clipper. Okay, I'm learning. Oh, cool. So it's just an oscillator comb. And then this is the overall. This is wild. There we go. There's our polyglide. We have to edit it down there. Ooh, nice. Okay, so those are our options. And are they the same on all of these? Yeah, okay. They're not limited anywhere else. Although I feel like we still have some other, yeah. Where's that coming from? We have like a bass sound somewhere. Maybe it's in this layer. Duh. Yep. Okay. This is the only layer we want for now. Yeah, just a little pedal, like just two knobs. Okay, and then these. Nice. What if we could just get like a little hit? There we go. And then our amount. Making presets for this is fun. I feel like anytime I say that, I'll get an email. Want to make presets? And in a perfect world, I would say yes every time. In a world where I am unpacked while building a new studio, okay. The layer sync? I don't see that anywhere. Oh man, anybody recognize this sound? Let's see if maybe I need an attack. No. Alright, I need some reverb. If anybody can guess the track. Okay, guess the track. Give you one more hint. I don't know if I can actually. Depends if my voice can. Does anybody recognize that? Come on, I want to see it in the chat. There we go. Somebody knows it's Aphex. Yeah, select ambient works, volume 2. Track 1 of LP 2. Yeah. It's just the resonance above it. Just one of those things where it's like, fuck, that might be how he made it. Maybe he turned the resonance all the way up and the cutoff to a specific. Anyway. Go find the track and I'm sure I could play it. Well, I don't know. I don't really care if I'm already gonna get copyright striked from Aphex Twin. Not by his fault, but yeah, I have another. Let's see if I could guess the. It's not Cliffs. Yeah, it is Cliffs. All right. So ready? Here we go. Oh, it's higher. That. All right. Yeah, so Aphex Twin Cliffs. Not even that much light, it's just that resonant, that one moment of like. I think my brain's just all Aphex Twinned right now. Was my singing the key? That's so funny. Totally on purpose, I swear to God. I swear, I've got perfect pitch. Alright, now we have 2 layers. And we're gonna use every goddamn one of them. Ooh, interesting. Does anybody else subconsciously hold their breath while making a patch in a synth? Man, I hold my breath while doing everything. It's so frustrating. It's like I have a natural bit. Whenever I'm concentrating, I hold my breath. Because I was trained as a military sniper. No, it's actually being somebody who has a lot of training in boxing, that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. You want to learn how to just keep breathing normally while, and in boxing, that's something I always did. And I've always been one of those boxers who has to go like, psst, 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 every single time you throw a punch, because otherwise I would just hold my breath while punching and I would lose oxygen. Yeah, that's why you don't want military sniping training. Otherwise, go for it. It just dawned on me. Okay. It just dawned on me that if we do rate sync, we can do this and play a beat. That's fun. I guess we like limited it a little bit. I feel like if you got into the orb now, it'd be hated for saying this, but I feel like it might be underwhelming to listen to The Orb today, right? Because I've found, like, I'm a huge Future Sound of London fan, if you can't tell from my music. And, like, anytime I've introduced, like, a millennial, or, you know, whatever, a Zoomer to Future Sound of London, they're just like, cool. And, you know, it's like they don't have the experience of hearing it in 1996. I'm sure you could get more more for your kidney than just an Osmos. You could probably get a whole studio. Your kidney dealer sucks. You need to get one that'll offer you more. Dude, every time I drink water, I sound like I've been, like, smoking weed. It's like, oh man, that was a nice hit of water. hard to play like it's hard to play anything cohesive, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. Preset. Wait, do I want to save or do I want to save as? I guess save. Let's just save in my presets. Benn choo choo. I love if I could just play it like this too, just like. I dig that. Well, thank you for listening. fun. Reading all the comments. Yeah, Beardy Man's great. I met him a festival called Bangface in London. I headlined a Bangface in 2008. 2009? Something like that. That's how I met him. Long, long time ago. Strange, but this synth doesn't sound bad. All sounds very appealing. Can it behave bad? I don't think the synth can behave bad. The controller I'm using can. But you could, like, mitigate that with sensitivity settings, which I have on, like, custom right now. Ooh, I like this. I get that joke. That is 100% something that somebody would say, though. Like, physical modeling really resonates with me. Where I'd be like, yeah, I like it too. I like that. I like that sort of creeping noise. The subtle noise creep. How do I feel about the MP3? I mean, the Osmos is an instrument of its own. I kind of don't view the Osmos as an MPE controller. I mean, it is, but I view it as like its own instrument. So there are so in my new studio, I'm trying to do things where basically what I'm trying to figure out, a lot going on obviously, but one of the things I'm trying to figure out is I don't want everything in there, and like what you're missing in this shot is all my guitars, minus like 5 back there. I have a guitar room upstairs. It sounds lavish. Like, oh yeah, I got 5 Lambos in the garage. It sounds lavish. It is. I guess it's lavish, but it's a lifetime of collecting guitars, so it's not that. It's not like I just bought a bunch of guitars last week. I just have hoarding issues. So things like that, where it's just like I want some stuff in the studio, but the house on the property is like a forest cabin. It's like a big forest cabin with beautiful windows that look out onto my own, sort of farm, garden, forest world. And like part of me is like, man, I really want the modular in there. Like no computer. Like that'll just be where all this shit goes. And I'll just jam. And it won't have anything to do with the channel. It won't have anything to do. It'll just be a place to write and come up with ideas. And then, and then that brings up like, well, maybe I'll get a tape machine. Maybe I'll win the lotto and be able to actually execute the ideas that I have in my head. But yeah, so that's one of the things I was thinking. It's like, well, I just need a format to record thoughts that isn't as high maintenance as tape. Or I could have Jamie Lydell give me one of his 14 tape machines as a homecoming gift. Which I'll do. Yeah, I'll ask him. Say, what's your homecoming gift? I need something to record all these ideas. And he just gives me a fucking Zoom H2 or something. But yeah, that's kind of my goals. Maybe the Polybrute 12 mixed with the tape machine is where things need to go for a video. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, I love field recorders, and I have quite a few 32-bit float recorders. The problem is that I can only record a few tracks. I think the most I could do, my Zoom F8. That's what, 4 stereo tracks. It's pretty easy to do out on a modular. I have a Live Track L20R, which has 16 digital tracks at once on an SD card. Although you need an iPad to set the volume and panning and stuff. That's an option. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, the reason I'm telling you this, I don't know where the Osmos fits in that, because I'm answering that question is like, what do I think about the Osmos? I don't know where it fits there. And the fact that I don't know where it fits there means that it's an important thing to me. Like the fact where I'm like, oh, I wish I just had one inside and outside. But yeah. I think I like it more in my studio than I like it as a standalone synth. So, but yes, I still like it very much. If it broke, I would buy another. Yeah, John's amazing. I hate the Octatrack though. I've owned 2. Oh, really? Databroth, the Osmos is your main controller. It's not my main one, because I need the heavy piano feel, but yeah, I would like a 1/2-inch Tascam or something like that, but nice. Databroth, what DAW do you use? You don't have to say it if you don't want people driving you crazy. Or I guess you don't have to use a DAW to make presets all the time. Okay. That makes sense. The synth sounds wonderful. Would I recommend it over other audio modeling a similar style? That's a good question. It's too different. It's too different for me to make a comparison. Like comparing this to like Reason's Object. Like if you have an MPE controller, then this is clearly the winner. Yeah, but this is pretty rad. I would buy this and I would buy this synth in a heartbeat, this VST in a heartbeat, anywhere under $200. And I think it retails at like half that, so. And I think it's 50 right now, or 80, something like that. Yeah, and a lot of physical modeling plugins are really expensive. Like, I wonder if my SWAM stuff has expired yet. Fucking cheapskates gave me a I'll show you some really expensive physical modeling. No, but they gave me like a 1-year license. Which, whatever, I'm not complaining. Oh yeah, we have to manage the mapping. Grr. They didn't make a expressive E thing for it yet. So I'm going to choose MPE default. And then over here, I believe we have to choose only the Osmos as the in. Wait, which one do we have to do? Grr. It sounds kind of fucking dumb right now, but there's like an MPE switch up here somewhere or some shit. Where is the... it's in Bitwig. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Stupid latency. Yes, noise works with just standard MIDI. Oh yeah, and we have different sax models with this, I believe. Yeah. You kind of don't want MPE with the sax, I guess, right? You want the... Well, I guess you do. You just don't want the... Yeah, this is not working the way it's supposed to. I believe the expression should be controlling the... Not the flutter, the... Well, it looks like expression is being... It's fucking annoying. Yeah, okay, so the velocity should not be at 127 the entire time. Maybe there's another preset I can choose. That's better. This might be the way. Yeah, this sucks. Yeah. My mom knows that I have a saxophone. The reason she's saying this is because she knows I have a saxophone. And she's watched me learn how to play it for fucking ages. And not really get very far. I've tried, Mom. I've tried. Leave it. Just leave it. Oh no, I gotta reset the MIDI thing. I gotta do the MIDI all over again. All right, fuck it. It's not worth it. Yeah, but this is a great example of why MPE hasn't not taken off yet. Sound Japanese there. This is an example of why MPE is not taken off yet. There we go. All right. Oh, I don't know what glissatar. I know what glissatar is, but I don't know what glissatar is. It escaped my brain. Yeah. Okay, that's what glissatar is. Yeah, you know, I met that guy. God, what's his name? Fuck. He's another person. He just emailed me too, and I didn't respond to him because I'm a piece of shit. Super nice guy. Met him at Georgia Tech for the Instrument Awards, for the Gunther Awards, and Guthner Awards. I always screwed that up. And he won. But yeah, I remember I did the video on those awards, and I remember he was just playing this like crazy, you know, bird call sounding type like thing. And like doing all these odd resonances and harmonics, and then just like broke into playing Donnelly flawlessly on that thing. And I was just like, what the like blew my mind. You know, just oh, okay. And okay, now you're playing this. Yeah, that is I wouldn't get too excited because I feel like that thing is what I would describe as 70% the musician, 30% the instrument. I think if I were a sax player, I would 100% be all over it. But yeah, let me try and find the video actually. Let's see. Wow. It's amazing how you could search YouTube for like a specific video and it just won't show up. So it's like, no. You want to watch what the algorithm says you want to watch, not the thing that you just mentioned. Okay, where is he? I will find it for everybody who... This fella. Incredible stuff. So he's just playing this stuff. I'm like reacting to my own YouTube channel.
This strap is
so good. And like his it's just a strap that has like a magnet that hooks up to the thing and that opens and closes the hole. And at the time I kept being like, you know, are you working with the company? And he's like, I think so. Yeah, I think we're gonna try and sell them. And he didn't want to do the interview because he was his English isn't perfect. Who cares? You know, my English isn't perfect. He spoke perfectly fine, but he was self-conscious about his English. And I was like, no, you should be on the camera. And sure enough, he won the whole thing. It's like amazing. But yeah, it's called the Glissotar, Glissator, maybe Glissotar. Yeah. What a fucking legend. The husky dog expression simulator. Well, this is exciting. It's one of those things where I'm like, am I going to use this in music? Nice. Oh, this one started doing what I was doing in that one preset. Yeah, contact. Comparison to physical modeling, I'm all team contact. I'm all team physical modeling. And these aren't even organic presets. I didn't even look at keys. I'll be the judge of a good EP. Probably not on this. I'll say no to that. Man, deep learning and physical modeling are two things that really, really can work together in a way that is really, really powerful for musicians and could help us. But the problem is, both of those things, like deep learning, is it would cost a lot to write and continuously train a base model for AI to learn a violin sound and then tweak it into a physical modeling plugin. Additive synthesis, and so like basically taking additive synthesis, like powerful additive synthesis, like Harmer, then physical modeling, having 2 layers, maybe 2 layers of each. So two additive synth engines, 2 physical modeling engines, similar to this, maybe even more powerful. Not that this isn't powerful, but maybe a little bit more broad in terms of what it can do, like more wind, more, more complex envelopes. Maybe envelopes that are like similar to like a Yamaha montage. Then take those, have AI learn all of the presets, or not presets, have AI learn all of the parameters. Just train making different sounds on it, then have it learn a violin performance, and then create that same sound and be able to write a MIDI sequence and then have it play back with that sort of violin performance. This is something that's totally possible. This is like one of those things that AI could totally do, and it would totally revolutionize music production and make it easier for musicians. And you wouldn't need a data set that, had thousands of unpermitted recordings. You would just have, quite simply, you could probably do it from one violinist. You could just pay a violinist a couple session fees, and have them do that. The problem is, all this stuff takes a lot of development time and a lot of training time and a lot of trial and error, and there just isn't enough payoff. There's just not enough people who would pay good money for it. Everybody, especially in a world where like people pay $50 for plugins. We're going to sell 5,000. That might not even make a profit after hiring all the developers and stuff. So I say this as the co-founder of an AI company, of an AI audio company. There's, in our case, there's more to be made. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of just overall development costs and payoff and being able to hold something above water, there's more to be made in a type of technology that would take every single episode of Seinfeld, and obviously it's already been done, but not with AI, but take every episode of Seinfeld syndicated, then turn it to Japanese with Jerry Seinfeld and Kramer's voice, or all the voices of the original actors. But doing that, in a simplified way for every audiobook, for everything else, and for music too, which is, we've already done it. Like we have examples where we've done it and already done that. So, yup. Unfrosted. What is that? Move this over here a little bit for my closing out segment. I need to find out what that is. Oh, really? I wonder if that was with our partner that we're working with now. Maybe. That's a new Jerry sound. Okay, yeah. Crazy. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's funny. I was like, wait a minute. Was that's really bad. Cool. Well, yeah, it's so that has like a higher return. Like AI is a higher return for that. But in the meantime, when you have the higher return with that, one thing that I've been trying to get, like, for anybody who doesn't follow me on social media, VoiceSwap got BMAT certification. We're partnering with BMAT now. BMAT is they're the folks who certify all music. When if you upload something to Spotify, if you were to take a Beatles song and upload it to Spotify and say it was yours, BMAT would be that they run something like 30 billion queries a day, and they would be the ones to say, no, fuck you. You're not the Beatles. This doesn't. So basically, they just trace royalty routes to every single piece of music on the internet, and also, subsequently satellite radio and everything else. VoiceSwap is the first AI company to be able to be certified through BMAT. So, hooray. That's really good. And then we have to like run math and we have to like look at artists' pay stubs from Spotify who give it to us. But I really want to get to the goal of being able to say without any doubt that we've paid higher than Spotify just from in the last year, that the payment from us has been higher than the payment from Spotify for the artists that have their voice on our platform, which is awesome news. That's great. Yeah, so fun times. A lot of news with that coming up. But anyway, I have to hire some movers, and I have all their rates. So that's my next thing to do. I wish I could do that on stream, but I would probably dox myself hard. But yeah, I have that going on. Oh, thank you, Nick. I'll pass that on to the team in the Slack right now. Be like, you're awesome. Well, I'll see you next week. Next week's going to be sim selections, and next week is the sim selections with it's a pretty special one because we have I don't know how many people did use the superlative acapellas, but we'll have a whole lot of hip hop, grime, jungle with superlatives Vox. So that's amazing. That'll be super fun. I'm excited to hear those. And then the week after that, let me look. I'm going to give myself panic attack on the stream. Yes. Then the week after that, I won't have a stream. Do you know why? Because I'll literally be moving. Maybe I'll have a stream from the move. You'll just see me crying for a long time. All right. Well, take care. I'll see you next week. I think Sunday is when the Aphex Twin video premieres. I'm excited. All right. See y'all later. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Expressive E, for making some more awesome stuff. Bye. This is out of tune. Yes, I know you can hear me. See, that's what drives me crazy. I need to change the song. It's because this is a modular patch I made. I didn't really pay any attention to tuning. I'm lazy. All right, for real though. Bye.